What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Spanish Like a Native. Mi nombre es Álvaro y soy tu profesor de español. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Spanish alphabet. Now, you may be thinking that this topic is very easy, right? But it may be not. It depends. You see, personally, I think that the alphabet is the most important thing in any language. And in Spanish, it's not the exception. If you master the alphabet in Spanish, you're going to speak very natural, and I'm going to give you an example. I have some friends who speak English as their native language, and they would pronounce, for example, my name or any Spanish word a little bit off, a little bit weird. For example, a native Spanish speaker would pronounce my name as Álvaro. Álvaro. And I have some friends that would say Álvaro. Álvaro. What's up, Álvaro? ¿Qué pedo, Álvaro? And saying Álvaro instead of Álvaro, at least for us, is totally different. And this is something that we call acento gringo. Tienes un acento gringo, like a gringoish accent, and it's very strong. And maybe if you don't care about your accent, it's okay. But in this video, I'm going to teach you some things that you need to know when pronouncing each letter of the alphabet. So you would pronounce words as perro, perro, and not perro, perro. And I have a story. For example, when I got my visa, my tourist visa to go to the United States, there was an American guy who was asking us questions. And I remember that he said, ¿Quién estudiar en Católica? ¿Quién estudiar en Católica? And the question is, ¿quién estudia en la Universidad Católica? ¿Quién estudia en Católica? Well, he missed an article, but, well, it doesn't matter. The accent is the one who stood out to us, and it was very gringoish. ¿Quién estudiar? ¿Quién estudiar en Católica? Instead of ¿quién estudia en la Católica? It's a university. But well, I'm going to teach you all the alphabet plus a good pronunciation. So instead of saying ¿Qué pedo, Álvaro? ¿Qué pedo, Álvaro? You would say ¿Qué pedo, Álvaro? ¿Qué pedo? So without further ado, let's begin. First off, we have la letra A. A. It's not A, it's not A, it's just A. A. Árbol. Amigo. Árbol. Amigo. Then we have la letra B. B. This one is very similar to the B in English, but it's a little bit softer, I would say. B. 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 Burro. Balón. Burro. Balón. Then we have la letra C. C. The pronunciation of this letter depends on the word or vowel that follows this letter. For example, la letra C with all the vowels would be K, C, Si, Co, Cu, Casa, Cena, Cine, Cocina, Cuento. In words like casa, cocina, cuento, la letra C, it's pronounced like K, K, K. And it's kind of similar to the K in English. So it's K, K, casa. Then we have la letra D. D. This letter is very, very tricky because some people think that the D in English is very similar to the D in Spanish. But look, the D in English is very, very strong, like D, D, day, this day, day. And in Spanish it's very soft. For example, dedo, dedo, dedo. It's not D, D, day, it's dedo. Dormir, dedo, dormir. And also the D in American English would be pronounced like D, D. For example, editor, editor, or edit, 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 edit. And some non-native speakers tend to say the expression que pedo as que pedo, que pedo, But it's not the, it's the. Que pedo, It's not que pedo, it's too strong, but it's a little bit softer, que pedo. And it's not que pero. So, que pedo, la letra D. Then we have la letra E. This can be a little bit tricky because in English this letter is E, but in Spanish is la letra E. Espejo, estrella, espejo, estrella. E. Then we have la letra F. This is pronounced F. This is very similar to the F in English, like stay focused. So we have words like flor, foco. Then we have la letra G. This letter is pronounced differently depending on the letter or the vowel that comes after this letter. For example, la letra G with all the vowels would be ga, ge, ji, go, gu, gato, genio, gimnasio, golosina, guante, ga, ge, ji, go, gu. And you may be wondering, what do I have to do in order to produce the sound ge and gi, ge and gi? Well, you have to add a U between the G and E and between the G and I. So we have words like guerra, guitarra. And also there is something called diéresis. I have a video talking about the letter G, the pronunciation and all this stuff. If you want to check it out, I'll leave you the link in the description. But well, la letra G con la diéresis is cigüeña, pingüino, gui, pingüino, cigüeña. La letra G. Then we have la letra H. This letter is silent in almost all the cases. So for example, huevo, hielo. It's not huevo or hielo, it's huevo, hielo. The H is silent. The only case where the H is not silent is when we have a C before the H. For example, the word chancho, chupete. The pronunciation is ch, chancho, chupete. Then we have la letra I. Isla, iglesia. This letter can be a little bit tricky because in English, I is the Spanish E. So it's not I, for us it's I. Then we have la letra J. This letter is pronounced jugo, jarra. Then we have la letra K. This letter is pronounced k. Koala, karate. In this case, la letra K, it's pronounced the same way as the C. So like casa, karate. Then we have la letra L. This letter is very different from the L in English because words like lápiz, libro, lápiz, libro. With the English L would be libro, lápiz. But it's not la, it's la. Not la, but la. Then we have la letra doble L. It's just two L's together, but the pronunciation is quite different. So for example, llorar, lluvia. The pronunciation of this letter depends on the country, but I would pronounce that as ya. Llorar, llorar. Lluvia. Then we have la letra M. M. This letter is pronounced It's very similar to the English M. Mesa, mesa, mano, mano. Then we have la letra N. N. This letter is pronounced Niño, niño, nube, nube. So the pronunciation is Then we have la letra ñ. 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 This letter doesn't exist in English, but it's pronounced ñ. Ñ. Niño, ño, niño. Uña, ña. Ñ, ña. La letra ñ. Then we have la letra O. O. This can be a little bit tricky because in English it's O. O. But in Spanish it's just O. Ojo. Ojo. Olla. Olla. So don't pronounce like ojo. Ojo. Olla. Olla. No, just O. Ojo. Olla. Then we have la letra P. P. It's pronounced P. P. Perro. Perro. Pelota. P. P. Pelota. Pelota. Then we have la letra Q. Q. It's pronounced like the C as in the word casa. For example, k, k. But the difference is that every time that we use la letra Q, after this letter we have to add a U. Queso. Queso. Química. Química. But the pronunciation is exactly the same as the C as in casa or the Q as in kiosco. Kiosco. Queso. Química. K. K. Queso. Química. Then we have la letra R. R. This is pronounced like ra. Ra. But when this letter is at the beginning of a word, for example, ratón. Ratón. This is the nightmare for non-native speakers because it's drrr, drrr, ratón, ratón. But don't worry, I have a video talking about how to pronounce this drrr sound, the letter R in Spanish. So I'll leave the link in the description. Go and check it out. Anyways, la letra R as in ratón, ratón, ropa. Ropa. When this letter is in the middle of the word, it's a little bit easier because it's ra, ra. Instead of rrr, it's ra. But the most difficult sound is rrr. La letra R. Then we have la letra S. 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 And this letter is pronounced S. S. Silla. Sol. Silla. Sol. Then we have la letra T. 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 This letter is pronounced T. T. Taza. Taza. Tenedor. Tenedor. Then we have la letra U. 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 Uvas. Uniforme. Uvas. Uniforme. Don't pronounce as the U in English, because some people say uniforme, uniforme, but it's just U, not U, it's uniforme, uniforme, U. Then we have la letra V, V. Some people call this letter B chica, B chica, and the pronunciation of this word is B, B. Yes, it's exactly the same pronunciation as B, like B, B, V, V, B. It's exactly the same pronunciation. For example, vaca, vaca, ventana, ventana. It's the same pronunciation as the B. Then we have la letra W, W. Some people call this letter W, W-O-W. And this letter is pronounced like wa, wa, waffle, waffle, whisky, whisky. Then we have la letra X, X. This letter is pronounced X, X. Texto, texto. Saxophone, 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 texto. Then we have la letra Y, Y. Some people call this letter Y, Y o Y. For example, yate, yegua, yate, yegua. The pronunciation of this letter depends on the country, but again, at least for me, this letter has exactly the same pronunciation as the double L. And I have a video talking about that. Again, the link is in the description. So, yate, yate, yegua, yegua, yate, yegua. Then we have the final letter, la letra Z, Z. This word is pronounced S, S, at least in South America. In Spain, this letter is pronounced like th, th. For example, I would pronounce zorro, zorro, zapato, zapato. But someone from Spain would pronounce zorro, zorro, zapato. So instead of s, it's more like th. Zorro, 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 zapato, zapato. La letra Z. Alright guys, this is it. Thank you so much for watching my video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and I will see you in the next one. Peace.